Hello and welcome to my report, EastMojo's daily evening news bulletin update. We bring you the biggest and latest happenings from East and Northeast of India. I'm your host, Simran Bajaj. I'll be giving you updates from Assam as well as Mizoram. We're being joined by our state correspondents, and we have Irani Sonowal Lepcha from Arunachal Pradesh, Chandan Pandey from Tripura, Medolino Ambrosia from Nagaland, Wangamla Salikapai from Manipur, and Princess Giri Rashid from Meghalaya. So let's start today's show. First off, let's head to Irani from Arunachal Pradesh. And Irani, can you please give us the COVID-19 updates from the state?
Yeah, hi Simran. So if you talk about the COVID-19 update and if you look into the data which was provided by the Health Department, Government of Arunachal Pradesh, you can see that unlike July, in which we have seen that the capital complex of Arunachal Pradesh, which includes Nilchuli, Bandardewa, Naharlagan, Itanagar area, was under complete lockdown due to the rise in COVID-19 cases. But in August, we can see that West Kameng is at the top, or if we look into this into the graph. So as of now, West Kameng district of Arunachal Pradesh has 177 active cases. 94 have recovered already from the West Kameng district, and 2 deaths were reported from the district. And followed by Capital Complex with 130 active cases with 905 recoveries and 1 death. And if we talk about the overall data of the state, there are 961 active cases as of now. 2,297 people have already recovered from COVID-19, with 5 deaths from the state. The tally stands at 3,263. Simran.
Thank you so much for that update, Irani. And now I would like to give our viewers the COVID-19 updates from Assam. So, talking about the figures, yesterday, as per the latest update that is from last night, given out by the State Health Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, the state recorded 1,272 new cases, discharged 3,259 patients, and recorded 8 new COVID-19 deaths. And with that, the cumulative figure in the state now stands at total 90,740 COVID-19 cases. And so I think by the weekend, Assam would have, by the trend in which the number of cases are growing, it would touch the 1 lakh mark in terms of total number of COVID-19 cases. And when we talk about discharged patients, it's at 70,900. Yesterday's like 3,259 patients which were discharged yesterday is among the highest number of COVID-19 patients discharged in a single day, and that's come as a major good news for the state. Even the state health minister, he tweeted that, I'm quoting him, "I feel extremely happy and proud of our medical team. Congratulations." So that's a big achievement in terms of the number of discharges in a single day, crossing the figure of 3,000. It's at 3,259 discharges. And currently, the state has 19,595 active cases and 242 deaths in total, including the 8 deaths reported last night. And 3 people have migrated to other states. Now, when we talk about the breakup, so in terms of reported cases, yesterday the state conducted 18,435 COVID-19 tests, of which 1,272 tested positive for COVID-19. And the positivity rate has spiked to 6.89. Now, as I've been repeating again and again in our lives, that the positivity rate should remain below 5%. However, it's at 6.89% as per yesterday's equation of tests versus the total number of positive cases, and that should ideally go down below 5%. And when we give a breakup of districts, so among the new cases, Kamrup Metro recorded 280 new cases, and 134 are from Kasar district. And when we talk about the COVID-19 patients who succumbed to the infection, so in that, the youngest was were 2 48-year-olds, and the oldest to have succumbed to the infection was an 85-year-old. And we've already spoken about the discharges. And Also today, the DC of Kamrup Metro has tested positive for COVID-19. The Kamrup Metro DC is Biswajit Pegu, and he's tested positive. And he happened to test positive when he visited Guwahati Medical College and Hospital for a regular health checkup. And he's been admitted to GMCH. And as per the report that we've already published live on our website, the commissioner has not yet developed any COVID-19 symptoms, so that is, he remains asymptomatic as of now. However, contact tracing has been initiated, and health team has been sent to his place to test his family members and those who were in close contact with him. And in other news, that's the COVID-19 update. In other news, today the much anticipated Guwahati ropeway has been inaugurated by the State Health and Finance Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, and the Guwahati Development GDD Minister, Siddhartha Bhattacharya. So the ropeway is it's the longest river ropeway in the country. Its length is 1.8 kilometers, which is the longest in the country. And the ropeway is one of the most anticipated projects in Assam, not just in terms of decongestion of traffic, but also in terms of tourism. It connects two ghats from Guwahati with North Guwahati part. So it when we talk about the points that it connects Kachari Ghat in Guwahati with Dol Govinda Temple in North Guwahati, and it crosses the Umananda Temple, which is on a small island in the middle of River Brahmaputra. And this is going to take an estimated of 7.5 minutes for the ropeway to reach from one end to the other end. And when we talk in terms of the capacity and the cost of the project, so the project was completed at a cost of around 56 crores, and at one go, one cabin of the ropeway can carry 30 people plus an operator, and hourly it can transport 250 people. And like, given the situation right now, it will not operate in full capacity, and only 15 people will be allowed in one cabin for the ropeway. So that's the update that we have from Assam. And now let's head on to Chandan from Tripura, and let's get the COVID-19 updates. Chandan?
Yes, Simran, thank you. So in Tripura now, if I speak about the COVID-19 virus, I was just listening to you while you were just saying that the positive rate should remain below 5, which is good. So just a while ago, I've attended a press conference which was called by the Tripura government medical doctors. So they held a press conference where they have revealed some of the information which is quite dangerous for the state. They have just said that Tripura presently accounts at rate of between 9 to 10%, which is alarming. And once Tripura crosses the mark of 10, it will become out of control for the state like Tripura. So they have said that in Tripura, the community spread has already started. And why it has started, they did not comment on it because they're a government employee, we know that. So they have said that the people has to abide by the protocol issued by the government. They said that the West District, which is the main headquarter where the Agartala also falls under West District. So people in West District in the last 1 week, a number of people have been found positive for COVID-19 from the West District of Tripura. Earlier, we have seen Dhalai district was the first district from where we got a large number of COVID-19 positive cases. But after, when people started coming back from outside the state, a number of people were found positive from Shipajana district. But all the districts have taken the virus seriously, and people have started recovering from this virus. They also said that the total number of positive cases right now in Tripura stands at 8,917, which is close to 9,000. As I speak with you, it has already crossed over 9,000 mark. The bulletin will reach soon. And the total number of active cases now in Tripura stands at 2,485. The recovered case stands at 6,341, while the COVID-related death has now crossed 73. It stands at 73, while the number of patients who tested positive and later migrated stands at 18. Now, as I was just speaking about the total scenario of the state, they have said that in Tripura now the positive rate stands somewhere between 9 to 10. And as per WHO protocols and guidelines, a state should not cross 5% mark, which is a safe mark, which is said to be a safe mark. And we are at the double rate now. And they also said that the West District people, of the total number of samples collected so far and tested in our state, the total number of samples collected now stands at 2,43,079 samples, out of which the total of 42,000 samples have been tested. They said that out of the total sample, around 9,000 people who have tested positive, 80% of the people are asymptomatic, which is something worried for the government is worried about. They also said that from a market which is in Agartala, Lake Chomoni market, a random sample was collected from there. Around 60 samples were collected, 46 samples were collected, of which 26% have tested positive. So a chief minister also reviewed a meeting with the health workers and doctors today. A core committee meeting was held in Agartala, where the chief minister has said that we also have the Durga Puja coming in the month of October. So now the government has decided that in next 1 week time, the government will start antibody testing. So to identify the total number of people present in our state having the antibody symptoms, so that the state can further take up the decision to start plasma therapy, which was earlier discussed by the government. The government is also planning to build the infrastructure for a plasma therapy, which requires a large number of infrastructure and doctors to work on. So this is something coming out of COVID-19 for the day. Simran. Hello. So this is something coming out from EastMojo.
Now, can you tell us?
Yes, Simon, there is also one more update coming up from the state. BJP ruling MLA Mimi Majumdar from Badharghat Assembly.
You know, Tripura, more about that.
Yes, Simran, one more update coming in from COVID-19 is that Mimi Majumdar, who is a BJP ruling MLA, she has tested positive for COVID-19 virus. She represents Badharghat Assembly. She was elected last year after the ruling MLA he died due to some disease which he was facing for last 2-3 years. So Mimi Majumdar, along with her husband, they both tested positive on Saturday late night hour. Later, she was referred to AGMC, Agartala Government Medical College, where she was given oxygen supply was given to her. After 24 hours, she was again discharged and placed on home isolation. So now the doctors have said that she has again complained about suffocation due to shortage of she's facing problem of breathing problem. So now she has again been shifted to the ventilation ward, where she will be given oxygen, while her husband is still under home isolation. So this is something coming out of COVID-19 updates.
Thank you so much for that update, Chandan. And now you can tell our viewers about the 12th Statehood Demand Day, which is observed by Indigenous Peoples Front of Tripura.
Yes, Simran. So the copy is already live. Our viewers can read it. So just to explain that IPFT is a ruling coalition partner of BJP in Tripura. Both of them came together in 2018 prior to the elections. But the IPFT comes from the tribal belt, which is around 68% of the total geographical area that Tripura has. It falls under TTAC, Tripura Tribal Areas Autonomous District Council. The IPFT party was formed in 2009, and its leader is Narendra Chandra Debarma, whom we also call as NC Debarma. He is the chief of the IPFT party. After taking charge in the government, the IPFT party have been demanding for a separate land, also known as the Tripura land, which they call as Tripura land. However, since from 2009 to 2020, now they are in the government, but still they have been asking for a separate land that is to be carved out from the state of Tripura, taking all the geographical area that falls under TTADC, which means 68% of the total geographical area falls under TTADC. So they have been demanding for a separate land, but in 2018, what we have seen, back then there was the government of left front, that is CPIM government in 2018. When the IPFT started demonstrating, there was a 10-day long protest in the national highway where all the IPFT leaders, including their supporters, were on demonstration. So after continuing this for 10 days, later on they withdraw their protest from the national highway after the round of talks with BJP and the central leadership. both the parties later came in together, and they fought the election against CPIM, and they defeated the 25 years long government that was led by Manik Sarkar, who was also the chief minister for 20 long years. So now, after 2.5 years of government, the IPF still continues to demand for a separate land. Although the BJP, who is also their alliance partner, they have always said that there is no question of giving a separate land called Tripura land, since Tripura already is one of the smallest state in India, and the geographical area which they have demanded is something that the center and the state can never accept. So there is a contradiction between both the parties. We have reported a number of copies where both BJP and IPFT supporters have had clash in a number of series of clash. Even last month there was a clash between both the party supporters. Now, as I'm just saying, this the statehood demand day. This is very important for the party this year because in December maybe there will be an election in the TTADC, which was postponed due to the COVID-19 outbreak, like we have seen happening in all the other states, like in Assam, the Board of Territorial Council. There was also the election was postponed due to the COVID-19 virus. But now the IPFT, which always organizes its central event at Khumlung TTADC, they have planned to observe this statehood demand day across all their divisions, which is around 34 divisions they have. They have called all the leaders, all the people amid this COVID-19 pandemic. We have seen hundreds of people gathering in those rallies addressed by two of their ministers who also hold the post in the present BJP IPFT government. So IPFT also said that the General Secretary of IPFT, who is also the Forest Minister, Mr. Mewar Kumar Chamatya, speaking with reporters, he said that IPFT need to fight the ADC election and they will fight in maximum number of seats. TTADC has presently 28 number of seats, of which they demand that at least 20 seats should be given to IPFT, whereas BJP should contest in 8 seats. So this is something we will keep an eye on as the election comes in. Simran.
Thank you for that update, Chandan. And in the last update from Tripura, so Tripura's human rights organization has shown solidarity with Prashant Bhushan. So can you tell us more about that?
Yes, Simran. So Tripura Human Rights Organization, which is led by one of the senior journalists, senior advocate, sorry to just correct, senior advocate in Agartala, Mr. Purushottam Roy Burman, they held a demonstration in Agartala on Sunday, and speaking with reporters and EastMojo exclusively, he said that Prashant Bhushan, who is one of the senior most prominent lawyer in the Supreme Court, he was held guilty for contempt of court just because he tweeted. He tweeted from his Twitter handle 2 tweets criticizing the Supreme Court's role and activities. So he also said that the criticism of judiciary doesn't stand under contempt of court, and the way the Supreme Court has taken the decision against Prashant Bhushan will have its impact in the coming future, because a person, if they are not allowed to criticize the judiciary, then they don't have the right to criticize any judiciary. If they cannot, what I mean to say is, if they cannot criticize the judiciary, they will not be able to criticize the government. And he also alleged that when a state or a center tries to overpower the judiciary, then the entire system gets collapsed. So the people need to stand with the Prashant Bhushan, who has rightly criticized the judiciary system and the role of the Chief Justice, which was quoted in his tweet. The human rights organization also appealed to the Supreme Court to review their verdict, so that Prashant Bhushan is such a lawyer who have fought for like 30 years for the common people, and even the Attorney General, who is presently there in the Supreme Court, he also accepted that the Prashant Bhushan is a person who have fought for people and the common person. The Supreme Court should review its verdict. So this is why the lawyers and human rights organization from the state came up in solidarity for Prashant Bhushan. Copies live, our viewers can read it. Similar.
Thank you so much for that update, Chandan. And now let's get the latest updates from Meadow from Nagaland. So Meadow, can you please start off with the COVID-19 updates?
Yes, thank you, Simran. So today, another 28 new cases of COVID-19 has been reported here from the state. And these new cases were tested positive out of 587 that were tested. 24 are from Kohima, 2 are from Dimapur, and 1 from Len and Zuneboto. So as per the sector-wise distribution of this new COVID case, 2 are from the armed forces, 6 are returnees, and 20 are traced contacts. In fact, the health department also informed that 20 of the traced contacts are from Kohima. All 20 traced contacts tested positive are from Kohima. And among the 6 returnees, 4 are from Kohima and 1 each is from Longland and Sunhepoto. And also the 2 armed forces personnel who tested positive for COVID-19 today are from Dimapur. And Simran, we have also reported 102 recovered cases this evening. So among the new recovered cases, 85 alone are from Dimapur and 17 are from Kohima. So with the addition of the new cases and the new recovered cases, our state tally is at 3,714, out of which the recovered cases was at 2,294. But now with the addition of the new cases, it has gone up to 2,396. And the number of active cases has come down to 1,302. So over the past weekends, we've seen that the number of recovered cases, overall recovered cases in the state has surpassed those of the active cases. And so far the death is concerned, there are 8 COVID-19 confirmed deaths here in the state. 1 more death is COVID-19 positive, but not due to COVID-19. Now we have also received report, and as I tried to confirm with the health department, they have given a confirmation that 1 more death has been reported, which means a total of 10 deaths have been reported. However, the one that I've just talked about, which was reported yesterday, is said to be under investigation, which means that the cause of death, whether the death is a COVID-19 related death or not, is yet to be established by the state death audit committee. So the official confirmed cases of death in the state is at 8. Also, another 7 persons from the state has migrated. So far, the overall classification of the positive cases are concerned. 1,607 are from the armed forces, 1,213 are returnees, 646 are through traced contacts, and 246 who tested positive are frontline workers. So Simran, this is in regard to the COVID-19 updates here in Nagaland.
Thank you for that COVID-19 update. But there's also another development related to COVID-19, Meadow, that an arrested person in police custody tested positive for COVID-19. So can you tell us more about that, and what's the contact tracing scenario going on in relation to that?
Yes, thank you, Simran. So one person who was arrested on charges of extortion recently and was kept under the Zubza police station here under Kohima district tested positive for COVID-19 this morning. So the rule now here, according to the High Park Committee, which was directed by the Supreme Court, for under trial prisoners and convicts and those for prison to decongest prisons, that's happening all across the country. A High Park Committee was also set up here, and accordingly, they have made it mandatory for all arrested persons to undergo COVID-19 testing. And that's when one of the extortionists who was arrested also tested positive for COVID-19 this morning. And as I tried to reach out to the Nagaland police, a highly placed source, of course on condition of anonymity, confirmed that the arrested person who was accused on charges of extortion, on highway extortion, and was held at the Zubza police station, tested positive for COVID-19. Now, the source also, informed that this is the first instance in the state when an arrested person has tested positive for COVID-19 through the RT-PCR. Now, the source also explained that there were instances where arrested persons have tested positive for COVID-19 on the TrueNAT test, but subsequently on the confirmatory test on the RT-PCR, the results were declared as negative. But then this happened to be, like I mentioned, the first case here in the state. Also, the arrested person who was at the police station has been shifted to a COVID care hospital now. The source also said that protocol, there is a quarantine there is a quarantine has been identified in the jails across the state. That is inclusive of the central jail, and a total of inclusive of the central jails are there in Nagaland. So in all these jails, there are supposed to be isolation and quarantine wards where persons who are arrested, the newly arrested persons, they have to undergo tests. And while they, they are, the results are not declared, and till the time they are showing symptoms, they are supposed to be kept in this quarantine isolation ward for at least 3 weeks. And after, all formalities where the person is safe to go and mingle with the others, only then are they sent to the general ward. That's what we were told. And but also one concern that rose was, the person, the accused who was arrested, because it was mandated to undergo COVID-19 test, the person had undergone. Now the question is, from where this person, what is the source of infection of this person? So in this regard, I tried to reach out to the medical department. Now there also a health official confirmed that the official link is yet to be established. The source of infection is yet to be established and will be established in a day or two. But the source said that they have, I quote, enough evidences. Yeah, I quote again, enough evidences to prove that the person, the accused who tested positive, has links to other already positive persons who are already infected with the virus. Now the health officials say that the accused is a taxi driver who's been flying between Kohima and Dimapur, and there are also cases, about 2 to 3 of such cases where taxi drivers flying along this route tested positive for COVID-19. So the health officials say that during the time of contact tracing, it is obvious that 100% contact tracing may not be be achieved, because there are times when some people or some COVID patients, they are unable to recollect the persons they have come in contact with, and there are times when they may go past. They may come across other people, but they do not know the person, and so during the time of contact tracing, the names may not be listed in such context. However, they say that so far every case that has been reported in the state, links are being established, and this link has also been because they have evidences, there's strong proof, they claim, that is towards trace contacts. So as per the updates that I read earlier, where 20 trace contacts from Kohima have tested positive. So I believe it is now established that this person also was through a trace contacts who may have been exposed to the virus. A detailed report in this regard will also be shortly live on our website. I request our viewers, readers to stay tuned and also go check our website and this story for more detailed updates. So that's it, Simran.
Thank you so much for that detailed report from Nagaland, Meadow. And now I would like to quickly give our viewers the latest COVID-19 updates from Mizoram. So in Mizoram, in the past 24 hours, one new COVID-19 case has been detected, and 38 COVID-19 patients have been cured and discharged. So with that, the cumulative figures for Mizoram stands at 918 total reported cases of COVID-19, 461 cured and discharged, 457 are active COVID-19 cases, and 2 people have migrated to other states. Fortunately, Mizoram has reported not even a single COVID-19 related fatality. So that's the update that we have from Mizoram. Now let's head to Sally from Manipur, and let's get the latest COVID-19 updates from Sally.
Thank you so much, Simran. And I sincerely apologize to our viewers that I'll have to do only audio live report today because there is no current here in my locality. So let me begin with the update in the last 48 hours, since we don't do live on Saturdays and Sunday. So in the last 48 hours, another 70-year-old woman who was undergoing treatment for COVID-19 at Jainim's Hospital here in Imphal was succumbed to the virus. But this lady is from the Tobal district, and according to the statement issued by the health department, not only she was a COVID positive, but she was also having multiple health conditions. So to say, she was a comorbid conditions. So this is the latest COVID deaths related when it comes to Manipur. So far, the pandemic has claimed at least 22 precious lives in the state. And in the last 24 hours, at least 3,690 samples were tested, out of which 116 are the new fresh cases of COVID-19. Out of these 116 cases, 42 are from the security personnel, 74 are from the general population. But as everybody knows about that, the new cases which has been emerging in our state, in Manipur, is not the returnees are being tested as positive, but those locals who do not have a single travel history to other state are the new COVID-19 positives. So even today, from this 74 cases from the general population, only 3 returnees are the COVID patients, and the remaining 74 do not have a single travel history. So as of now, the total confirmed cases in the state are 5,362, out of which 3,939 are from the general population and 1,423 are the security personnel. So this is the total confirmed cases when it comes to COVID-19. Along with the new fresh cases, another 97 infected persons with COVID-19 has been recovered. So the total recovered cases till date in Manipur is 3,713. Right now, a total of 1,627 are undergoing treatment for COVID-19 at various hospitals and COVID care centers. And as on August 24, the recovery rate in Manipur is now 69.24%. This is the current recovery rate in the state. When it comes to the new cases that was emerged today, for the general population, 31 are from the Imphal West district, 25 are from Imphal East district. Topal has got new 7 more cases. Bishnupur has got new cases. Kakshing, one cases, but this is not a local transmission, but a returnee. Ukrul has 3 new cases, and Churachandpur reported 5 more cases. So this is the new fresh cases that has been reported today. So far, a total of 135,399 samples have been tested for COVID-19. And when it comes to the passengers, incoming passengers, because since there is no train services as of now, the only transportation mode to reach home is the flight. So today, another 5 more flights have arrived from various metro cities, out of which 453 passengers arrived in the state. 48 passengers arrived from the Mao entry gate. This is by road. Another 7 more persons from Chiripam entry gate. So the total arrived in the state so far today recorded is 508 passengers arrived in the state. So this is the latest report for the incoming passengers as well as the COVID-19 in Manipur. Simran.
Thank you so much for that update, Sally. And in another update from Mizoram, just a second. So student bodies have questioned MPSC to hold civil service examinations. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, Simran, sorry. This is in relation to the Manipur Public Service Commissions, where they had announced on August 15 that they will reconduct the controversial Manipur Civil Services Combined Competitive MCS-CCE mains examination, which was withheld this is for 2016. So now the problem is this 3 student body, which is in fact it's a major student organization based in Manipur. One is the Democratic Students Alliance Manipur, DESAM, Abungba Irakpaki Maherol Singh Punglab AIMS, and All Naga Students Association Manipur ANSAM. So these 3 student parties, which is one of the major student organization based in Manipur, have submitted a memorandum to the cabinet this morning requesting for her intervention in order to withhold the upcoming examinations until the CPI probe into the alleged case that has been concluded. Why they have requested to the governor for her intervention is in this specific state civil examinations mains exam, which was held in 2016, was in fact quashed by the High Court of Manipur, citing various lapses and irregularities on selection process by the MPSC. So in this year, February, CPI in fact registered a case against some unknown MPSC officials for alleged irregularities in the main exam that was conducted in 2016 for various posts. And in fact, the prop was launched following a High Court order on a petition filed by several aspirants of the exam. The reason being is the main irregularities on selection process by the MPC. So since the MPC had already declared that they're going to conduct a re-exam for this main exam, which was already held in 2016, as a fresh exam again this year in the month of either on to October or November. So these three student body have raised a question to the MPSC. That's the reason they have submitted a memorandum to the State Governor Najma Haptila, to intervene, so that until the CPI, the ongoing probe that has been going on by the CPI, concluded this specific MPSC exam for 2016 to be withheld. This is all about MPSC, the Manipur Civil Service Examinations. Latest report from Manipur. Simran.
Thank you so much for that update, Sally. And now we would like to go to Princess from Meghalaya. And Princess, can you give us the latest COVID-19 updates? Princess, are you there?
Hello, a very good evening, Simran. Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Yes. So for the COVID updates that we have, firstly, I would like to begin that while we were, on our week off, which was Saturday and Sunday, Meghalaya had recorded another death in the state, and the total death earlier was 6. It has now risen to a total of 8 death cases in the state. And remember that the first death case was reported on Saturday. Now, in a span of 24 hours, in the span of less than 24 hours, Meghalaya had recorded another second death, and that was from Garo Hills. And it was a 58 or 59-year-old man, a person who had passed away, who had succumbed to the virus. Now, concerning the active cases in the state, for these past days, we have seen that the COVID cases in the state there's a spike of COVID cases. In fact, on Friday itself, on Saturday itself, we had seen that was like the first Meghalaya had recorded more than 100 cases in a day. Now, as of today, the cases that we're seeing here in Meghalaya, for today, the active cases is a total of 59. And out of these 59, East Khasi Hills has the highest active cases, and also in other districts also. Now, recovered cases, we have seen 9 recovery cases, and the total recovered cases has now increased to 789. And like I mentioned earlier, the deaths has now risen to 8. Now, talking about these samples that have been sent for testing, it's 75,239 samples that have been sent for testing, and that have been tested negative is a total of 72,824, and 439 are awaited. Simran.
Thank you for that COVID update. And in terms of COVID-19 precautionary measure, so the government continues to close entry points in the state. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, Simran. So the government, had informed last week that they have decided to close down the entry points starting the first week of September till November. That will be carried out for every first week of the month for 3 months. They will do that. But then this comes, as a, not aligning to the MHA's order concerning the reopening. If we've seen the unlock that is going on here in India, so MHA had given these guidelines to allow interstate, movement, and there were some guidelines. But then today, the government had informed that despite the MHA guidelines, they will continue to go ahead with the decision and continue closing down of entry points every first week of these coming months. And also, they've advised, they've also informed, that notifications have been issued. Those who will be exempted from this order has already been in place. And another is that students or returnees, have been advised not to make any travel plans during the first week of these coming 3 months. Simran.
Thank you so much for that update, Princess. And with that, we come to an end for today's show. I would like to thank all our viewers for continuously watching us and supporting us from Monday to Friday at 6 p.m. It's My Report by EastMojo.com. All the stories that we've discussed are already live on our website. You can log on to www.eastmojo.com and read all the stories there. And if you have any ideas, suggestions, or any opinion, then please write to us at editor@eastmojo.com. We also have a very active fact-checking team. So if you come across any piece of information or any photo or any video that looks unauthentic, please send it across again at our email ID, which is editor@eastmojo.com, or you can even send it to us through Facebook. You can send it to us on our Facebook Messenger, and we will definitely fact-check it for you and get back to you with the information. And please stay connected with us through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. That's all. This is Simran Bajaj signing off for today.